Hello guys, Brit AT here, and I'm going to be taking a look at the AT-7 British tank destroyer. And this is the Tier 7 tank destroyer. This is a fairly good game I had. I managed to get my mastery badge on this one, and that's why I wanted to showcase it to any of my viewers, anyone who's interested in taking a look at British tanks. And first off, I'll just list some stuff about this tank so you can get a feel for it. 1258 hit points. The frontal armor, the sloped frontal armor. Let's take a look here. Go free mode. You can get a feel for the armor. 203 millimeters up front, 101 on the sides, 101 on the back. The gun. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the stock gun or any of the three guns that lead up to the top gun. I'm going to be talking. As you guys can see, if you did go down the AT-8 line, you can kind of get to the third gun, and that's the gun right before this top gun. But if you went down the Churchill Gun Carrier, you're not going to have access to any of those guns. So I'm just going to be talking about the top gun for now. It has 226 penetration. Secondary, the next one is 258, and then 42 millimeter on the back end there. So 226, 258, 42, and the damage 230, 230, and 280. And as everyone knows with British tanks, it's not too fast, the gun on this, but you shouldn't need. Let's just take a look at this. Okay, I'll continue talking about the tank. So the accuracy on this thing is, as can be expected with all British tanks, you got great accuracy on this, 0.31 accuracy. The aiming time, though, the aiming time leaves a little bit to be desired. The aiming time is 1.9 to 2.1 seconds. So that's a definite downside to this tank. You gotta wait a while for your bloom and your reticle to kind of zero in on targets if you're not already zeroed in and you're picking new targets. But fires 10.34 rounds a minute, so that's fairly good. It is kind of slow, but when you're shooting things, and as you guys seen with that 281, you're pretty much guaranteed to pen with your AP rounds, your normal rounds. You shouldn't really, unless you're in a Tier 8 or a Tier 9 game and you're trying to hit people up front, you shouldn't even need to bring out your gold rounds. And as you guys can see here, most of this match is just me using my regular AP rounds and just penning. And that's why I like this gun. It's definitely a hard hitter. It's consistent. You're going to be getting pens. You're going to be hitting your damage, and that's what I like about it. It's consistency. That's what I love about this gun. And so that's the 20-pounder Type A gun. And yeah, so far I like this tank. It's fairly good, as long as you have support, right? But if you can engage enemies at range, you're not going to have too much trouble. As you guys can see here, lots and lots of damage you can take. If people aren't shooting that cupola up top, you're just going to be bouncing, ricocheting. And for sure, it's just engage enemies at range. Because if you engage a skilled enemy, just say you engage him up close, you're brawling with somebody, any good player is going to just pen that cupola, and that kind of, I don't know what you would call that, the machine gun. I believe that's pretty weak too, and any skilled player is just going to pen that over and over again. And I've seen it in action. I've played this tank easily 50 or so matches, and I've been playing all the AT series, the AT-5, the AT-8, and now on the AT-7, and basically any skilled player is going to keep penning that cupola of yours. And on the AT-5, of course, the mantlet, and the little shield in front of the gun, they're going to be keep penning that, and it's painful, to tell you the truth. But if you're a far target and you're using your British accuracy and your British rate of fire at range, it's going to work really well. And just hope your enemy's not a good sniper, because there you have it. There's my first pen, some of the damage they were getting in on me, and also just right under my gun too. But for the most part, these tanks can take a lot of punishment. Like, I consistently get 6,000, 9,000 damage, potential damage received games, and I love how Wargaming added that stat in the recent patch. I really like that. It really lets you see how much potential damage you might have taken, and hell, if you were in a weaker tank, bye bye, you'd be really dead. And so, yeah, on these kind of tanks, if you're facing unskilled enemies, if you're facing people that have trouble aiming for the cupola and aiming for your weak spots, you're just going to be tanking so much damage. And that's what I love about this series of tanks. And that's why I had to sell the Churchill Gun Carrier. Like, I was hyped for the Churchill Gun Carrier. I was one of the players that had 49,000 experience banked, and I was like, okay, Churchill Gun Carrier, as soon as it comes out, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this tank. And as you guys know, I didn't play it enough on the test server, I guess, because as soon as it went live, I was really disappointed with his performance. And, well, to be honest, I was running it with the stock guns, and oh man, there is just nothing. There's nothing redeeming about the stock guns on the Churchill. There's nothing redeeming about the stock Churchill at all. Like, usually TDs have something that's redeeming about them, and nothing on that tank was redeeming at all. It was just an absolute failure. I was really disappointed with the tank, and I ended up selling it so I could continue down the AT-7 line and the AT-8 line. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that gameplay. Yeah, only one kill in Mastery. That's surprising, but I ended up getting about 1,050 base experience and 1,500 with premium. Not that good, to be honest, for the Art of War contest. That's the thing with these tanks is I've been doing good. I've been consistently getting 60%, 58% win rates on these tanks, and definitely they have the win rate on them. It's just I haven't been getting any exceptional games yet, and I'm hoping I can kind of work on that and get some Art of War contest results on the server I'm playing on. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that playthrough. I hope I didn't ramble on too long, and I'll see you for more videos of British tank destroyers. Thanks a lot.